Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video, and we have been given a challenge. I've gotten another challenge this time. Okay, it's been a while since I've done one of these. To conquer the USA as Cuba or Vietnam as revenge. This has been sent by the animated general. I can't read the Japanese, I don't know what that means, but animated general is, yeah. So, I initially thought, I'm like, okay, this is crazy. But, yeah, no, we'll do it anyway. So, as you can see, I started out this gameplay and I knew this is going to be a tough one. I also decided to go with Vietnam because Cuba is just damn near impossible. Like, I thought about it, but damn near impossible. So I realized this was going to be tough. I'd be attacking the United States from all the way on the other side of the Pacific, and I'd be at a an immense disadvantage. USA is technically the number one superpower in the world, including in this game. It's ranked number one. And so I quickly created an army of 40,000, and I knew at the depth I was going to be in, but I decided to attack the USA at Pearl Harbor to start it off. Because Hawaii is honestly the closest point of the USA that we can reach. Then I decided to go for Alaska, because picking off the the disconnected territories of America was my first step into really taking this over. And Alaska doesn't have the kind of population you need to withstand my attacking force. Therefore, it was successful. Then what I did was I immediately attacked. This is Washington State, yes. And funny enough, I haven't even like discovered this part of the world. So it's sort of like if Columbus just invaded Americas, and then just immediately started conquering shit, like blindly, just blindly fucking walking into like uncharted lands. Just I'm conquering everything, which is technically what they did, but also not. Anyways, point is, I continue with my rapid advance. The Americans do strangely nothing. Um, and like I was okay. Listen, I'll be honest. As I was playing this, I was confused myself a little bit. I checked if they were like at any other wars. Like right here, you can see I checked it if they were in any other war, but they weren't. So I was confused, but I decided to continue pushing because I realized here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about invading superpowers in this game. Okay, if they're not attacking you or fighting back, it means you have free reign to do whatever you want, but for like a limited time. So I was like, okay, I gotta conquer as much as I can as fast as possible. And that's what you see me doing here. I'm attacking every single province I can, or at least possibly can, until because I know the US is gonna come with the counterattack, and it's likely not gonna help. I mean, not gonna help, not as in it's gonna be a tough one, right? So I decided to capture as much as I can. Again, I'm still wondering why. Like, it's weird. The AI in this game, I don't know what it was doing. Um, but anyways, I continue my rapid conquest, mainly across a wide front, mainly because to take advantage really of the lack of defense. And as you can see, it's a weird sight to behold. Truly, Vietnam taking over like the entirety of the east of the U.S. or sorry, west of the U.S. It's a western part of the U.S. Yes, and like for literally taking over like the middle Midwest. Is this yeah Midwest? It's called yeah, and like funny enough, that's where all the agriculture is. So you guess you could say, the Vietnamese farmers were in their habitat. Hmm. Anyways, okay, I'm sorry. I was just imagining like those like hordes of soldiers just like in the Konats. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the counterattack that I was talking about comes. And they send in like 12,000 people. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And like, literally, I think I literally said that. So I'm like, okay, I need to take what I can get and just peace out. Leave right now. And like, I quickly start selecting stuff. And then I'm just like, okay, take it all. I'm out. I'll take what I can. I'm going. Okay. And then I just like deselect and select something. I just want to get the best borders. That's it. And then I try this, right? Yeah, I'm just making sure I get the right peace deal. Then do that. But they don't peace out this time. So now the situation's reversed on me, right? Now they're attacking my undefended backside. So I have two choices. I can either continue what I'm doing or head back to face them. So I realized at this point that I could not. I made a strategic decision. Okay, I could not move back to deal with the Americans. Their forces are way too strong. Okay, 12,000 in just one unit. You saw that. Okay, um, 12,001. Oh yeah, and also 50% of my population became American by just how much land I conquered. Anyways, I realized that I would not be able to face those units, and I sent some units to try at least weaken them. I sent the units that were left behind on from my offensive, but the units on the east or to the east, I decided to like rush the shit out of them, like because there was no defense on this side. All right. Remember, the American AI was doing a really stupid thing that the AI does in this game, which just naval invades the part you've already taken instead of fighting on the territory that is being contested, which is weird, but also incredibly annoying because like once they get to your under defended side, they just start spreading out like it's the most annoying shit. But either way, it was a race. So now it was basically an exchange of territory. I was gaining territory in the east. They were they were retaking territory back in the west. And as you can see here, this exchange was pretty much in my favor because the percentage would increase every single time. And it was 35%. So I thought, okay, it might be okay if I peace deal. The Americans might have had enough of this, right? And I do it, and they don't, and they start attacking from Canada. So now they have forces in like Washington, like the northwest, and they have forces within Canada and which were attacking Alaska as well, which is also undefended. So again, yeah, it's like the strategy of the AI is so stupid, but at the same time, it's annoying as hell. Hold on a second. Okay, leave that. Anyways, I continue this trade off essentially, and like I managed to pass them. This the Mississippi River, right? Yeah, Mississippi River. Uh, and like I start my counterattacks in the west. I know they're going to fail, right? But uh, anyone can dream. Anyone can dream. Anyways, I continue, and here's the thing: one of the most annoying things is like I kept running out of points, movement points. But anyways, they finally start counterattacking on that side, which scares me. Okay, it actually like scares shit out of me because now that they broke their lines, I might have been screwed, right? So I decided, okay, continue the advance in the north, blah blah blah, and like I started diverting units because I was afraid that I'm gonna lose this front line now. And I used the southern troops to finish up the conquest of Texas and continue the advance. Meanwhile, on the other side, the west, my few thousand troops were struggling to say the least. Um, I was my Alaskan holdings were being taken back, and I was just basically running around trying to at least cause chaos for them, which is I guess, the main objective of that, anyways. And so now at this point, I'm literally invading. I've reached like the Great Lakes. I've reached about, I think that's Lake Michigan, right? Yeah. Is that? Anyways, I continue invading, and I'm inside of Detroit, which, hey man, for a bunch of Vietnamese, for the for a bunch of Vietnamese Viet Cong, whatever the fuck. I mean, this is supposed to be a revenge video for the Vietnam, like this is revenge for the Vietnam War, so I'm gonna assume it's the Viet Cong doing this. Also, my population is 60% American, right? Anyways, I decided, okay, I'm gonna bunch up my units in the south side to try to resist the north. And I once again ask for a peace deal, but they still reject me. So once again, the trade is still going on. I am still giving territory in taking territory in the east and giving territory in the west, but it's still, I make sure that it's still in my favor by continuously invading, so that by the time the AI gets sick of the war, right? The whole idea is that by the time the AI gets sick of the war, they'll give a peace deal in my favor, and I get at least some territory. Because remember, I literally I came into this war with no other territories, right? I have no other gains other than this. So any gains is usually good, pretty good, right? And also, I'm in like immense debt. I have nothing I can do. I cannot raise new armies. And so this is the main strategy that I went for. Also, I saw like 5 units come to the coastline, and if you're wondering why I started like nervously covering the entire coastline, was because if those 5 units come and start spreading, super annoying. They will ruin the front line and the aesthetic. Okay, ruins everything. Um, Anyways, I continued this mad push. Again, I don't know how this game is not very realistic in terms of supply lines because there's no fucking way any of these soldiers are maintaining supply lines all the way from Vietnam, okay, across the Pacific and then across the entirety of the United States. And as you can see from my supplies map mode, those guys have like some of my troops already got cut off. So yeah, and then reading that I was just like, oh shit. Well, shit. Then again, I didn't care about these guys, right? So again, they were all just there to stall. That's their only purpose. So now I was I was literally reaching Detroit and like Virginia, like that far I had gone, and into this mad dash. Like I'd literally taken over Detroit, um, and like the Americans were taking back Nevada, and they were en route to taking back California. Yes. I kept trying to send troops back. I was bunching like there were troops that were left over from my advance, and what I'd do is I was bunching them up so that they would amount roughly to 1,000 when I bunch them up, right? And I'd send them back. And this time, when I made the peace deal, they accepted. And as you can see, I celebrated. I was a very happy Age of Civilizations 2 player. Um, Completely unheard of. Anyways, I then reviewed my economic situation and remembered that I was in staggering debt. And I proceeded to quickly dismantle my army as fast as I can so that I could somehow make up for this. This is the nightmare of all economists. And so I got about 4,000 per turn. But I knew that I had to get this fast, or else I'm gonna be facing rebellions the size of, well, the entirety of the US. Or not, like the entire Midwest area. And all of a sudden Canada started attacking the US. Now I did not want this, okay, strangely enough. I did not want the Canadians to attack the US because I wanted it just like to be between Vietnam and the USA only, right? So, but the problem is there's no like country I can get to attack Canada for a distraction. I tried to do that with France, as you must have seen, but since France is disconnected from Canada by the ocean, the AI in this game hates the ocean, and so they'll rarely ever attack across it. Except, of course, when you're invading the AI and you have an obvious front line, then the ocean is obviously the place to send troops. So this game is something else. Anyways, I basically underwent the agonizing task of assimilating. I'm surprised there was not a guerrilla war. Like that would be incredibly funny. Vietnam fighting a guerrilla war in the US. um American farmers fighting the Vietnamese. They're occupying the Vietnamese imperialists. Oh no. Anyways, so meanwhile, as I was assimilating my newfound territories, Canada literally conquered the U.S. Most of the time, people think it's the other way around, but no, I guess not. And so at this time, I wanted to attack Canada, and so I started raising an army for my newly assimilated territories, and in preparation to do so, right? But see, the thing is, it was already occupied, and like the war was already finished. See, that's the thing. I wanted to like intervene in that war and then take American territory, but like it didn't work. So they pieced out already and they finished it. And Americans, I actually felt bad for them at this point because they had literally gone conquered by Canada. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine being conquered by Canada? Exactly. It's probably worse than being conquered by Vietnam. Okay, so that happened, but I was like, you know what? No, we're here. I was given a challenge. I had to destroy this. I had to defeat the USA, And so I did it, and like I invaded them for a second time, and this time the invasion was much more stronger because, well, I wasn't attacking from across the Pacific, and so I basically advanced on a wide front. And also, to add to that injury, they'd just been in a war with Canada. Like the war with Canada just finished, and so they were like what reeling from that. Also, because a lot of their territory got annexed, their factories and population have decreased. Keep in mind. So at this point, the U.S. is easy to conquer. Like it's not much of a challenge. And funny enough, they even it got so bad for the U.S. that they moved their Canada to Yakut, or they moved it to Alaska. They Who the fuck moves their capital to a fucking frozen ass city? Okay, a city. Their capital building was probably an igloo. Okay, that's how bad it got. So yes, at this point, the U.S. ain't even the aggressors anymore. They're just oh gosh. Anyways, I'm shitting on too much. I don't know why I'm trash talking so much. Anyways, I invade the rest of the USA. I take over mainly the western side of the USA. I kind of like ignore the east for the most part. And like the USA is like it's been fucked up so much that it's dealing with rebellions now, like homegrown rebellions. So I was like, okay, I can take advantage of this because they'll be disorganized and all that, right? Fighting a rebellion. And funny enough, that rebellion is succeeding. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'll take advantage of the rebellion. I'll attack the rebellion and the U.S. and just get free territory, right? Because in this game, rebellions are weak as fuck. Like they're super weak. They barely have any troops at all. So it's free territory for me. But some weird glitch happens in the game where the territory I take from the rebellion goes to the Americans for some reason. I don't know why that happened. Um, and like the troops converted to the I don't know why this glitch occurred. Even I'm confused by it. But I managed to defeat those new American, quote unquote American forces, and then I proceeded to stabilize my front line. That again, there was a massive ass gap in my front line just now, and they still could not take advantage of it. Like that's how destroyed they are. Okay. Anyways, I decided to finish off the last of America. I invaded Florida, and of course, the Florida men could not handle the Vietnam. They could not handle the Viet Cong. Like I'm pretty sure they have. Listen. If you have crocodiles, we have men disguised as trees. Yes, they're clearly superior to crocodiles. Crocodiles. So yeah, the rest of this was just a steamroll with a net army of about 500 like people or something. Okay, I yes, because yes, and yeah, I finished off the U.S. completely. We conquered them, and then it was over, 100%. So even though that happened, they still managed to peace out and survive. So I had to once again disband my army. I had to do this cycle again because again, my finances for these wars were terrible because I'd always raise as much people as I can, and now I was the one suffering from American insurgencies. So yeah, it's like history just like repeated itself except backwards. So this time I was able to better assimilate the conquered territories, mainly because I was not $300,000 or coins or whatever the fuck you call the currency, coins in debt. Okay, and so this was just a matter of time. It took me a while, and all of a sudden Cambodia starts attacking me. Which, funny enough, I completely forgot about my territories my actual territories, in Southeast Asia, and so I was like, oh shit, they did not peace out. And so I took a massive ass loan or two massive loans and then just raised a massive army and then attacked back against Cambodia. Um, I invaded it once again, and they pushed back harder, but I was able to push against them. And once again, I took a loan, another loan, and like I fought hard, and then this time even Malaysia joined in on the war, and so I didn't want to take any extra territory. The challenge was specifically U.S. and U.S. only. Okay, that's what I'm taking it as, and so I did not want to take any extra territory, so I'm like, okay, you know what, I'll take it, and then just puppet them. And since I'm communist, they get the Khmer Rouge, or sorry, Khmer Rouge. So yeah, I enjoyed the genocide. Anyways, back to the USA. I finished assimilating the last of the provinces. We can't have any American insurgents. We have to take them out and turn them Vietnamese. At this point, I am like number three top spot because I conquered the U.S. Yes. Anyways, I realized that because my troops were stationed in some provinces that like okay, so in this game they base it off of province stability, and sometimes you can keep it like artificially maintained, like keep it artificially high by putting your troops there. And so then what happens is the game doesn't like register it as unstable, and then when you go and try to assimilate everything like all together, it does not come. So you gotta manually do it. It's it's annoying, but anyways, either ways, I did it, and I saved up more money for the final takedown of America, which by now was just like like half of the East Coast, and then Florida. That's it. That's all there was. And so the invasion of America continued, and yeah, this at this point it's over. It was over for Donald Trump. It was over for the USA completely. They had been taken over by Canadians and Vietnamese. Like what? Like who would have even seen this team up? Like this is a team up more insane than I don't even know it. I can't even compare it to anything. Okay, I can't even compare it to anything. And in this version of reality of this 2034, the US is now fighting an insurgency against Vietnamese. How they turned of tables. Anyways, I conquered into Florida and then finished off the USA for the last and final time. So, animated general, I have finished your challenge. I've completely finished off the USA as Vietnam and gotten Vietnam's revenge. I have a plague, but I don't care. Anyways, I will see you guys next time, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe.